Welcome back. So Nvidia finally reported after hours, and the numbers were absolutely fantastic, mind-blowing in fact. Yet their stock is down after hours. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I'll try to explain it as best as I can why it's actually falling. And also related to Bitcoin and crypto, and some interesting facts as well. So first things first, Nvidia. All eyes are on Nvidia, hoping they have really good numbers so that they can carry the tech sector forward. And they did. They had some crazy numbers. Overall revenue above 30 billion in one quarter, over 50% growth year over year. And what's mind-blowing is they had 9 straight quarters where they did that. 9 straight quarters where their revenue grew by over 50% year over year. That's staggering. Like, there's no company out there that could do that. And this, when we're talking about the biggest company on the planet by market cap already, and they're still growing at 50% every quarter, which is, again, insane. So overall, top line, bottom line, basically overall sales numbers, their profit margin, profits, I mean, everything, revenue. You take it all into account, they beat every expectation. Okay? So, why is their stock down? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? So, the one thing that everyone was curious about was their sales to China, their H20 chip. So, recently, Nvidia made a deal with the US government saying that anything goes to China, they will pay 15%. I guess that hasn't been officially approved by the Department of Justice or something. So, in a quarter, Jensen said they didn't sell anything to China. So they took some of those H2 chips and sold it to some other buyer outside of China, about 180 million. So they sold 0 to China. And it's unclear if they're going to sell any to China this quarter. Remember, they're reporting last quarter, right? But despite that, even if it's at 0, Jensen's already predicting that their overall revenue this quarter will be even better at 54 billion. But because of this uncertainty, because Wall Street specifically, not anyone else, is worried that maybe they're not going to sell anything in China, or it's going to be limited, or it's going to be impacted by the tariffs, whatever, right? That's why people are selling off, which is really stupid because all the spectacular numbers that are coming out is without selling to China. Imagine if they did start selling China, how much better it would be. So it's staggering. So it could be one of those fake outs, right? Like Wall Street's knee-jerk reaction is like, okay, we're worried, let's just sell off aftermarket, but tomorrow it could flip really into the green because they come to their senses like, what are we worried about? They're doing so well, even without selling to China. Of course, anything in China would be even better, right? So we'll see. Obviously, because of this, I think Bitcoin and crypto cooled off a little bit. Bitcoin today overall didn't move that much. 112 has stood there, 112.5 I think is the highest it got, and now it's around 111. Bitcoin really didn't move. ETH was doing okay, above 4,600, didn't quite get to 4,700, but Sol was really hot today, back to like 210. Now it's slid down a little bit. Overall, the entire crypto market cap actually did a decent recovery today and now has cooled off, okay, because of Nvidia earning. Again, it really has nothing to do with Nvidia, right? The crypto market has nothing to do with it, but I think it's just overall sentiment. These people were expecting some crazy numbers from Nvidia and money would be flowing, and now it might not be. Again, it could be a shakeout, though. It could be a shakeout. But overall, I think we're in a really good spot. Even though we're down a little bit compared to a couple weeks ago, that's quite okay. We're still seeing a lot of projects wake up and make new highs, right? We're getting surprises, and those surprises, like surprise announcements, are driving things forward, right? Crypto.com, CRO token is one example I mentioned. Hyperliquid is really on fire also because of all the because enthusiasm around Ethereum and DeFi and so forth. And many others are starting to climb up. World Liberty Financial, when that comes out, probably going to be golden. And Sol is finally waking up. Someone asked me this morning, why is Sol going up? Well, I mean, there's not one particular reason. I just read a headline that said that Sol, there's about 1.7 billion being held by institutions, and that number is only going to increase. There's more and more. Just Pantera Capital recently said they're trying to raise 1.5 billion to create a Sol treasury, so that instantly doubles, and there's a lot more companies coming in, plus the ETFs that are coming, right? So obviously institutional adoption is starting and it's helping, but also just the metrics, you know, the fundamentals, and the altcoin season that we're in, the start of it, is getting a lot of people excited once again. There's a lot of Sol people, a lot of people that believe Sol is the next big thing. It already is, but in terms of market cap, can it get to Ethereum's level or even exceed it? I believe so, one day. Probably not this cycle. I thought maybe it had a chance earlier this year. Maybe not, but we'll see. Ethereum is doing way better than I expected because of the institutional adoption, but just wait until they start coming into Sol, right? Solana, that's the reason why it's gaining strength. But it's not just these two guys, right? There are so many others that are going to get their own ETFs, their own treasuries, institutional adoption, and retail hopefully won't be too late. Right now, those of us that are in it, you know, we're doing okay. We still try to DCA more as much as possible because we know we're still early. And we're very early in altcoin season as well, and early in this cycle, and plus many other cycles. We're just early, very, very early, right? So, but the thing is, one day it won't be early. One day these institutions would have bought so much and drove the prices so high that new people can't get in anymore, you know? That's going to be unfortunate. But right now, it's not the case. Not the case at all. Bitcoin may be a little expensive, but Bitcoin's going to go a lot higher. ETH is going to go a lot higher. Sol's going to go a lot higher. And many others like XRP and Cardano and Chainlink and many others, Sui, are going to go a lot higher too. Outside of that's it. I did see something about Saylor now with his latest buy. MicroStrategy holds more than 3% of the supply, or at 3%, 3 or more, which is staggering, staggering. And speaking of supply, that reminds me, BlackRock also. If you thought 3% was high, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF holdings is more than Saylor's. It's above 3%. And because they have started accumulating so much ETH, their ETH reserve is at like number 3 right now. They're about to have the same number of ETH as Coinbase. It's staggering how fast BlackRock can accumulate with their ETFs. They already hold over 700,000 Bitcoin, and the number of ETH, I don't know the exact number, but it's really, really high. The inflows from the last 3-4 weeks have been mind-blowing. So that tells you something. It tells you that whatever we're going through right now, we will get through it, and it's temporary, so don't be discouraged. All right? That's it, guys. We'll see how tomorrow is. We'll see if tonight what's happening after hours is just simply a fake out, or Wall Street is really worried about Nvidia, which is really silly if you ask me. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.